Hello everybody, this is me Sam from Ruby Gaming, and today I'm going to show you how to use and install the Multiverse plugin for Bucket. Now, as I always do with my plugin tutorials, I'm going to show you what it does and how to install it. But first, what is Multiverse? Multiverse is a plugin for Bucket that allows you to teleport between numerous worlds. You may know that the Netherworld and the normal just basic world are two separate worlds in your configuration. And what Multiverse allows you to do is create more than just one normal world, and you can create multiple normal worlds, you can create multiple nether worlds, and there's also another thing which is going to be a surprise, and I'm also going to show you about that. So first of all, this plugin does require permissions. If you don't have permissions, it will just kill itself, so you're going to have to need that. It has permission 2.0. I actually prefer 2.0, but it will work on 3.1. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. So current version. You have to left click it and then you click save. Open up, and then you're going to want to drag that into your permissions folder. Right, so we're going to start the server up, and hopefully, there we go. Multiverse permissions found. It'll show you version 1.7 or whatever version you have. It'll load up all the settings for each world, and it will load any portals. And there we are. So let's stop the server, and let's see what's been created. So go to plugins, then multiverse, and you'll notice 3 YML files. So I'm going to go over what each one does. So let's start with the multiverse.yml. Let's bring it over to the right screen. Okay, so this is the main config of Multiverse, and I'm going to just go over what each bit does. So first of all, prefix. So you can prefix the world name on players, and you can turn that to true or false. You can also see if you want to charge players for using a portal. So if you have Economy installed, you can say, for instance, charge them to use a portal. I'm going to go over portals later. You can also have a global respawn, so that if I die in one world, it will just teleport me to that world on the global respawn. And you can also alternate the respawn as well, so you can set these settings to whatever you like. There's also a TP cooldown. This is how long they have to wait until they can use another portal. Default is 5 seconds, this is done in milliseconds. There's also alert cooldown and an info cooldown. All these are configurable. Also, the item used to get information from a portal, and the default is 49, which is obsidian, so that's just what you use to get information on like where the portal will teleport you to. And the item to use to create a portal, which I'm going to go over in game, is by default a wooden pickaxe, which is ID 270, so you can change that to whatever you like. We can also do a single player style nether, and that will just, for instance, when I create a portal, it will like act as if I can go to the netherworld. So you can have that option if you just want, like, for instance, the nether. And there's all the settings there. So nether default world, respond to default. You can change that to true or false, so respond to default world. And for instance, so that's all that. Right, moving on, we have portals. Now you won't have to have anything in here. These will just be where all your data of your portal locations and names and stored, and you don't really have to mess around with that. Worlds. Now this is quite important actually. This is where all your world creations exist. So I have 2 worlds at the moment. One called world underscore nether and another one called world. So let's have a look at the first one. So these are all the variables you can set for a world. So you can set whether animals are true or false, PvP is true or false, whether it has an alias, listed blocks which are not allowed, the worlds are not allowed, the location of the spawn, whether mobs are allowed to spawn, the price of teleporting to that world, the environment. Now there's 3 environments. There is normal, nether and skylands. You can just type them all in block caps there, and nether will of course be nether. Normal is just your basic world, and skylands is Skyland world. You can also edit the whitelist, and any playlists that are not allowed, for instance, can be there. And that's the same with this one, except of course this one has an environment normal because it is a normal world, and you can replace that with Skylands if you wish to have a Skylands world. So that's all the configs. Now I'm going to go in-game and show you how to create portals and create worlds. So I'll see you in-game. Hello everybody, we're now in-game, so I'm going to go over all the in-game commands and such like. So let's begin. So I'm going to go over how to create portals. So first of all, we can create worlds in-game, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So first of all, you need to have a permission enabled, and the permission node is multiverse.world.create. So to create a world, we type in mv create, then space, and then the world name. So I can call this Torrentland. This way all the torrents spawn. Next variable is the environment, and so you can choose to be normal, nether, or Skylands. So we're going to have Skylands. So do it all in caps for good measure. And then you can also have a seed. So this is just a random seed, how the world is generated. Most of the time it just randomly generate a seed for you, so there's no point of putting one. So that's how you do it. Hit enter, and it will attempt to create a new world. And if you look at the log at this point, it will say starting the spawn of Torrentland. And there we are, it's just come up complete. So now we've created Torrentland, which is the Skylands world. We can also import worlds as well. So for instance, if you have like a single player world and you want to import it, which is not currently in the game but exists, we do this by doing mv import space, then the world name, so I don't know, Sampioville, and then we'll have the environment, so normal or nether. Now I don't have a world file called Sampioville, unfortunately, in my directory, but if you do, that's how you would import it. The permission node for that is multiverse.world.import. We can also remove worlds. So for instance, I'm not a big fan of the nether world, if I'm honest, and we do that by doing mv remove and then the world name, so world_nether. It'll say world nether has been removed from Multiverse, however it won't take effect till server restart, so you can start and stop the server and it will then take effect. The permission node for that is multiverse.world.remove. Okay, so now for some teleportation commands. You can teleport to worlds, and you can also teleport to portals. I find teleporting to worlds much simpler than portals, but I'm going to go over both. So I want to go to Torrentland because it's cool, and the way I do that, I'm doing /mv tp and then the name of the world, so Torrentland. And there we are, I am now in the wondrous land of Torrentland, and it is quite snowy. Hopefully this is a Skylands world, so I should be able to see the edge. But knowing luck, I've messed it up somehow, and this does look like a normal world to me. Yes, it is a normal world. So, obviously, you won't make such a big mistake. If I just wait, give me a second. Okay, there we have a list of all the worlds, and you do that by doing /mv list, and that will list all the current worlds running on the server. The permission node for that is multiverse.list. We can also list all the portals, and we do that during mvp list, and that will needs the permission node multiverse.portal.list. Okay, so we can also set the spawn in a world. So for instance, I don't really like it over there. I'm going to make a hole, make people spawn. Oh, it's water. Wow, how did that even work? Messed up. Anyway, to make the spawn now in water, we do that by doing mv set spawn. And there we are, Torrentland spawn set. So now, whenever I teleport to Torrentland, it will teleport me to that location. So I can teleport to the spawn by doing MV spawn, and there you go. I spawned relatively close to where I set the spawn point. So that's how you do it. For permission nodes for setting the spawn is multiverse.world.setSpawn, and the permission node to teleport using spawn is multiverse.world.spawn. So now that I've gone over that, I'm going to show you how to create a portals and how to use them. So a good idea is to always create some sort of way of letting people know that there's a portal here. And the way I do it normally is just by digging a hole, but of course you can use a standard like nether portal if you so wish. This is messed up. I mean, look at that. Wow, what's going on? That's like a glitch, so better stay away from that. Okay, so as we defined earlier, the item for setting 2 points of a thing is the wooden pickaxe. So I'm going to spawn myself one of those. I'm going to spawn myself one of those. Okay. I believe I'm in like a corrupt zone or something. Okay, there we are. Right, I've managed to spawn 2 wooden pickaxes. So I'm just going to make a hole in this water. This is such a messed up place. I have no idea what's going on. Right, so to create a portal, you need to select 2 points. So I'm going to select the point here, left click, and then I'm going to select another point here, right click. So I'll say permission 1 set and permission 2, position 2 set. So now that I've selected 2 points, I can create a portal, and I do this by doing MVPC and then the portal name. So I'm going to call it Puddle. So now I've created a portal, I can then select its destination. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to select it. So MVPS portal select Puddle. So now I've selected the puddle. Now I can set it as the destination, and I can set it to another portal, or I can set it to a world. So I'm going to set it to another world. I do that with an MVPD, and then if I want to do it to a world, I do W and then the name of the world. So for instance, world. But however, if I wanted to do it to another portal, I would do this by doing P : and then the name of the portal. So I don't know, puddle 2. Puddle 2, that says puddle 2. You're obviously size messed up. So now I've created a portal. It should teleport me to It should teleport me to the world when I jump in it. So let's go, and as you can see, I've now lagged out. Everything's going good so far, everything's going good. Right, so now we're in the dark. But you also notice that we are in fact in the previous world. Now normally it won't chuck you out like that. I believe I am running a outdated version of Craft Bucket, and all these issues have been resolved. So yeah, it should be fixed by now. I can also remove a portal. So I didn't really like that puddle, it's a bit naff. I can do that by doing MVP. I can rename it. I'll rename it first, save me making another one. MVP rename, so multiverse portal rename. The name of the portal, so puddle, and then the name of the portal name. So for instance, I'm going to call it LOL. So I renamed puddle to LOL. And now I don't really like null, so I'm going to totally just remove it. And I'll do that by doing MVPR and then the name of the portal, so LOL. And there we are. We now have more portals. So if I was to go back there and jump in the portal, it wouldn't work. There's a creeper. There's a swimming creeper. Whoa, there's 2 of them. This is messed up. What is going on? What is going on? There's oh my days. Okay, lastly, I believe I was going to tell you how to teleport 2 portals, and I've just removed one, so I'm not going to be able to show you it, but I can tell you it. You do MV P TP P colon and then the name of the portal. So I would put puddle, but I removed it. And okay, so that's all today's. Any other help is on the thread and shows you all the permission nodes if you've missed any. It's a great portal. It's a great plugin. I'll use it on our server, Filippo, and it works really well. So if you're watching this, great plugin, love it, awesome. So cheers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is me, Sam, here for Whoopi Gaming.